Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The President, Association of International Business and Professional Management, AIBPM. Your Excellency, Lim Kai-sin, PhD. The Vice President of AIBPM, Mrs. Ira Kristiana. The Coordinator of AIBPM Bali, Bapak I Gede Cahyadi Putra, SA MSI AK CA. Our co-host, Universitas Khairun Indonesia, Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar Indonesia. Excellencies, our keynote speakers, Dr. Simon Grima, Dr. Garima Singh, Dr. Kira Sud, Dr. Ainul Mohsen Abdul Mohsin, Dr. Sana Fatima, and then Dr. Nehal El Nagar. Excellencies, participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and welcome to the 2023 Bali International Conference of Project Management ICPM, held by the Associations of International Business and Professional Management AIBPM. The 2023 Bali ICPM is attended by people around the world, including Indonesia, Malaysia, India, Malta, Bahrain, Hong Kong, Nigeria, Pakistan, the United States of America, Russia, South Africa, and so forth. I am Aulia Herdiani. I feel honored to be the host for today's event. It is a perfect opportunity for us to interact and network with you all peers and colleagues across countries. I do appreciate you for taking your busy schedule to join us today, Saturday, 16th of December 2023. On these occasions, we'll be having outstanding discussions with our prominent speakers on how to optimize innovations and technological entrepreneurship post-COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, we couldn't be more thankful to our co-hosts, Universitas Khairun and Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar, for the huge contribution for the program. Ladies and gentlemen, before we officially begin our international conference, we will reverse and listen to our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Excellency speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present you AI BPM.
is Indri Supriyani, and I would like to recommend you to join this conference.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with aibpm, and this is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Bohirjon Sodikov. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Without further ado, I'd like to invite the Vice President of AIBPM, Mrs. Ira Christiana, to deliver the opening remark.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege for me to present the 2023 Bali ICPM conference to the authors and delegates of the event. We hope that you will find it useful, exciting, and inspiring. The 2023 Bali ICPM conference is a prestigious event organized with a motivation to provide an excellent international platform for the academicians, researchers, industrial participants, and students around the world to share their research findings with the international business experts. In this 2023 Bali ICPM conference is attended by around 220 participants from Indonesia, Malaysia, India, Japan, Nigeria, Pakistan, Iraq, Bangladesh, and many other countries. There are many presenters to do online presenters, and some of them do the presentation offline. We would like to say a big thank you for all keynote speakers, partners, and also committee. Thank you for all co-hosts and supporters from Universitas Mahaswaraswati, Universitas Khairun, University of Malta, Manipal University Jaipur, USM Malaysia, Symbiosis Center for Management Studies Noida, the Royal University for Women Bahrain for your huge contribution and help to organize this conference. Without your help and support, this conference cannot be held successfully, and all committee's members, thanks for their hard work and support. And thank you for all keynote speakers, Dr. Simon Grima, University of Malta, Dr. Garima Singh, Manipal University Jaipur, India, Dr. Ainul Mohsein Abdul Mohsin, University Sains Malaysia, Dr. Sana Fatima, Symbiosis Center for Management Studies Noida, India, Dr. Nihal El Nagar, the Royal University for Women, Bahrain. The 2023 Bali ICPM conference aims to provide opportunity for the global participants to share their ideas and experience in person with their peers expected to join from different parts of the world. In addition, this gathering will help the delegates to establish research or business relations, as well as to find international linkage for future collaboration in their career path. The 2023 Bali ICPM conference outcomes will lead to significant contributions to the knowledge base in this up-to-date business and management field in school. Therefore, on the day of completion of this journey, we are delighted with a high level of satisfaction and aspiration. The responses to call for paper have been overwhelming, both from Indonesia and from overseas. We would like to express our gratitude and appreciation for all the reviewers who help us maintain the high quality of manuscripts included in the proceeding. We would also like to extend our thank you to the members of the organizing team for their hard work. We now optimistic and full of hope about 2023 Bali ICPM International Conference. I would like to say thank you for all keynote speakers, all section chairs, MC and moderators for the fully support. Thank you all for your support and your dedication to make this conference happen. We appreciate that author of the 2023 Bali ICPM may want to maximize the popularity for their papers, and we will try our best to support them in their endeavor. Let us wish that all the participants of the 2023 Bali ICPM conference will have a wonderful time at conference. I'm Ira Christiana. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Ira, for the insightful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to announce that the 2023 Bali International Conference of Project Management has officially begun. Welcome to the 2023 Bali ICPM. Well, before we start seminar sessions, I'd like to invite all panelists and participants to turn the camera on. We'll take group pictures, and then the committee will be helping to capture it in a moment.
Thank you, Ms. Aulia. And now for all participants, please turn on your camera. And if you were AI mode, please make it turn off. Okay, I will take the photos from the gallery 1. In 1, 2, 3. Okay, next, I will take the picture of the gallery 2. Please turn on your camera. Okay, I will take the photos on 3, 2, 1. And for the last gallery, please turn on your camera. I will take the photo from 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you, Ms. Aulia.
Thank you very much for all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd also like to invite you to share today's photos on your Instagram and then give the hashtag 2023 ICPM and hashtag info for academia for stand for number 4. And the best Instagram post will get free entry to our next conference. We also invite you to follow our Instagram at info for academia and our YouTube channel on AIBPM Talk Series. You can obtain up-to-date information about our events, publication opportunities, and the video of our conferences. The information also has been shared in the chat box, as well as other important information related to coming events and the opportunities. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to introduce you to keynote speakers of today's conference. We have 5 excellent speakers with us right now. The first one will be Dr. Grima from University of Malta, and then followed by Dr. Singh from Manipal University, Jaipur, India. And then the third will be Dr. Ainul Abdul Mohsin from University Sains, Malaysia. And then followed by Dr. Fatima from Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Noida, India. And the last but not the least, but this is Dr. Nehal El-Nagar from the Royal University for Women, Bahrain. It's also my profound pleasure to introduce you to the moderator for today's event, Dr. Prince Charles Heston Runtunuwu. Good morning, Dr. Charles.
Morning, Miss Aulia.
Yeah. So this is the right name that I mentioned, Dr. Charles or Dr. Prince.
Dr. Charles.
Okay, thank you. So at first, let me briefly explain your bio. Prince Charles Heston Runtunuwu is currently permanent lecturer at Faculty of Economics, Universitas Hairun. He received his bachelor's degree at IPB Bogor in 1998 and continued with master's degree at Samratulangi Universitas Samratulangi Manado in 2003. After which, he pursued a doctoral degree at Universitas Erlangga Surabaya, majoring in economics. And he is actively conducting research in the field of economics, banking, monetary finance, management, and social affairs. He's also a reviewer in several accredited national journals and reputable international journals. Actively writes and publishes articles in accredited national and international journals, writes several books with ISBNs, active as speakers or presenter in several national seminars and international conferences. Nothing is impossible if there is a will, effort, and prayer. That is his motto. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Dr. Prince Charles Heston Runtunuwu. Dr. Charles, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Miss Aulia Herdiani. I'm Dr. Prince Charles Heston Runtunuwu. I will be the moderator for today's conference. First thing first, I will announce the rule and the presentation time before I start to introduce the keynote speaker for today. Today, we will have 5 keynote speeches, and here is the conference rules for today. First, all online participants will be mute during the presentation. Second, there will be a question and answer session after the keynote speakers finish their presentation. And the third is the moderator has the authority to choose who will deliver the question or suggestion. Now, before I start, I would like to inform you that each keynote speaker has 20 minutes to present their slide and question and answer session after all keynote speakers have finished the presentation session. Now I will invite the first speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Simon Grima from University of Malta. Dr. Simon, are you already in this room? Okay, Dr. Simon Grima from University of Malta is the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Management and Accounting, Associate Professor and the Head of the Department of Insurance and Risk Management. Simon is also a professor at the University of Latvia, Faculty of Business, Management and Economics, and visiting professor at UNICAT Milan. He served as the president of the Malta Association of Risk Management and president of the Malta Association of Compliance Officer between 2013 until 2015 and between 2016 and 2018 respectively. Moreover, he is the chairman of the Scientific Education Committee of the Public Risk Management Organization and the Federation of European Risk Manager. Research focused in governance, regulation, and internal control, and has over 30 years of experience varied between financial services, academia, and public entities. He has acted as a co-chair and as a member of the Scientific Program Committee on some international conferences, and is a chief editor and review editor of some journals and book series. He has been awarded Outstanding Reviewer for Journal of Financial Regulation and Compliance in the 2017 and 2022 Emerald Literary Awards. Moreover, Simon acts as an independent director for financial services firm, sits on risk, compliance, procurement, investment, and audit committees, and carries out duties as a compliance officer, internal auditor, and risk manager. For Dr. Simon Grima, the time is yours.
Good morning. I am Professor Simon Grima from the University of Malta. I'm head of department of the Insurance and Risk Management Department and also Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Management and Accountancy. I am also professor at the University of Latvia, Faculty of Business, Management and Economics. So today's session, first of all, thank you for the invite to the Bali ICPM 2003. I'm sorry I could not be with you today, but I had other commitments, and obviously for me, the timing would be very early in the morning at 2:30 a.m., which is, here in Malta, it would be 2:30 a.m., while in your country it would be early in the morning. So there's a timing difference. So today, my keynote will be about a paper that I have done regarding managing a study that I have carried out regarding managing perceived longevity risk to ensure a sustainable well-being. Also, who would like to live longer? Who would like to be healthier? What is the secret to this, and what are the perceived risks? Let's start by understanding what the meaning of risk is and how people see this risk. So, what is risk? Risk definitions usually focus only on the downside scenarios. Only others, even depending on the context, are more expensive and consider all variabilities as risk. Example, the engineers define this risk as the product of the probability of an event occurring that is viewed as undesirable and an assessment of the expected harm from the event occurring. So, risk for them is a probability of an accident times consequence in loss or deaths. Risk, however, is defined in terms of variability of actual returns, utility on an investment, activity or action, around an expected return or utility, even when these returns or utility represent positive outcomes. In fact, the word risk itself is derived from an ancient Arabic word called risk and is used till today in the Maltese language, my language, translated to mean prosperity granted by God to a person. In fact, when we want to greet somebody or tell them good luck, we would tell them ir-rizq, which is similar to the Arabic word. However, during the Renaissance, in Europe, this was given the meaning of an uncertain loss or danger. That is from where the bad word for risk came. Therefore, we should consider a broader definition of risk that captures both the positive and negative outcomes. This can be seen in the Chinese symbol, which best captures the duality. This Chinese symbol for risk is a combination of danger, crisis, and opportunity, representing the downside and the upside of risk. So, minimizing exposure or danger will also reduce the potential opportunity. So, if you do not take risk, there's an opportunity cost. So, to continue in life and to do anything from the morning till the end of the day, even after the end of the day when you're in bed, you need to take risks. You need to do something, to move forward. In fact, the Italian translation of the word risk is rischiare, which means to dare. We can find this translation, even in Latin, Against the Gods, in the book Against the Gods by Bernstein, 1996. So, risk is therefore a choice, not fate, and the actions we dare to take, which depend on how free we are to make choices, are what the story of risk is all about, and the story helps define what it means to be a human being. Also, risk depends on perception, culture, beliefs, and the environment. As you can see, the perception of people in 1932, okay, is that if you are on a girder high up, 840 feet above the ground in New York, as you're seeing here, you feel, oh, I'm a man, I'm macho, I'm strong, you know. That was the perception. Today, if you had to do something like that, they would say you are crazy. I would have said you are crazy even in 1932, but today they would say you are crazy, and they might even arrest you. They would arrest you for not taking precautions and exposing the world to risks that you are going to fall from that height and die. So the thing is, perceptions in 1932 have changed so much, even what people think about a similar job. Again, here we've got another example in a cartoon where you've got Ainul, a person reading a newspaper, where he's saying, our town hasn't had a merger since 1957. Oh, what would the pessimist or the optimist say? Okay, the optimist say, we are safe forever. The pessimist would say, oh my goodness, we are due. So the different perceptions will make you take different actions to mitigate or to manage, okay, or to tolerate certain things that you are reading, that you are seeing, that you are perceiving, that you are observing on a daily basis. Okay, now let's go to the average lifespan of people, okay, around the world, which is growing over the years. In fact, now you'll see both sexes are growing. The average lifespan is 73.4 years. Females are much larger, 76 years, and males 70.8 years life expectancy. As you're seeing from this slide, you're seeing the graph always growing, okay, with males and females all growing consistently from 1950s to 2003 to an age above between the 60 and 80 years. As you can see, from this graph, I picked up some of the top life expectancies and the lowest life expectancies. And as you can see in the choice of my countries, Italy is one of the highest it's a European Mediterranean country with 84.2% life expectancy of both sexes. And again, we've got the females more than the males in all aspects, okay? And Latvia, we've got 76.06, while Indonesia is one of the lowest and life expectancy of 71.10, with the females still higher than the males' expectancy. So, average life per capita of participating countries. So, we made a survey, carried out a survey, and received 1782 valid responses, and the responses are from Italy, Spain, Malta, United Kingdom, India, Indonesia, and Latvia. As you can see, over the past century, okay, we have seen a steady increase in the average life per capita throughout most of Europe and Asia. Although history trends indicate that more changes in death rates might be anticipated, there is still a great deal of uncertainty over how mortality will evolve in the future. The term longevity risk describes this kind of uncertainty, that is the financial social risk associated with living a life that lasts longer than you expected, therefore outliving your savings and well-being health-wise. So we are now looking at, the risk of not having a pension when we are retired. So the research gap that we're looking at is longevity risk management requires accurate and up-to-date data on life expectancy, health trends, and socioeconomic factors. Although this may be available, it lacks accuracy because it ignores what I have just talked about, perception and cultural differences, which may play an important part in well-being and longevity. Longevity is seen in most contemporary civilizations over the last century as both a gift and a burden brought about by the advancement in medicine, technology, and social norms. The benefits of longevity are perceived quite differently by different people. Pearsall and Bortz say it is for science to add life to years and not years to life. This comment by Pearsall and Bortz is commonly referenced because it highlights the importance of studying life satisfaction and functional health in the field of biological aging. However, as the average lifespan continues to rise, more and more individuals are realizing that there is still plenty of time to make the most of their lives despite the challenges they face. That is to say, it may be necessary to embrace a certain degree of frailty as part of the aging process. Therefore, the capacity for psychological resilience in the face of adversity may promote the drive to live to a ripe old age. The study objective is to discover and evaluate the perceived factors that affect longevity risk and well-being in Europe and the interrelationships between them. So we looked at certain measurements, certain variables, okay, which are listed here. We looked at gender, genetics, parental and childhood conditions, education, socioeconomic status, marital status, ethnicity, migrant status, lifestyle, medical technology, environment, longevity risk, and well-being of individuals. These were the variables we got from literature. In fact, after carrying out a systematic review using the PRISMA method and the thematic analysis by Braun and Clark, we came up with the following framework. Following hypothesis, which is the basis of our conceptual frameworks, which we'll see later. So, our hypotheses were, the first one was there's a significant relation between gender and well-being of individuals. We did the same, a significant relations with genetics and well-being, then with relationship with parental and childhood and well-being, relationship between socioeconomic status and well-being of individuals, relationship between marital status and well-being of individuals, relationship between ethnicity, migrant status, and well-being of individuals. These are all the variables that we had before. Relationship between lifestyle and well-being of individuals, relationship between medical technology and well-being of individuals, and the mediating environment mediates well for individuals. These were the hypotheses that we built our study on, our thesis on. And this is the conceptual framework based on these variables. As you're seeing, the variables which result in longevity risk, which make up longevity risk, and mediated by environment to have well-being of individuals relationship. The conceptual framework and literature is used to create a survey which is divided into sections and a filtered section. The filtered section checked whether the respondents was European or Asian. And, by mistake, I forgot to write Asian. And whether the respondents was aged above 65 years. If they met these criteria, they would be allowed to continue with the survey. So if you are European or Asian over 65 years, you are allowed to continue. The first section relates to demographics. Okay, so the first section was demographics, asking respondents who met the criteria of the filter to answer 7 questions related to the country of residence in Europe and Asia, their age bracket above 65 years, their marital status, their education level, their monthly retirement income bracket, their family size, and the type of family, joint or nuclear. Joint families have more people, which means there will be more support during any time of crisis. Joint family members have a close bond because they live longer and help one another out daily. Nuclear family, also called elementary family, in sociology and anthropology, are a group of people who are united by ties of partnership and parenthood and consisting of a pair of adults and their socially recognized children. Nuclear family members have a strong tie, but their schedules may prevent them from spending as much time together. Our survey, we received 1,782 valid responses, as I told you before, over a period of 6 months, starting on the 21st January 2023, and closing off on the 23rd July 2023. We carried out the Cromba Alpha, to test reliability and to analyze internal consistency among the variables. In fact, the reliability came out to be 0.883, which is more than acceptable. So we continued our study. Explorative factor analysis was used on the first 891 valid responses to determine the model, and then confirmatory factor analysis was used on another 891 responses, the next 891 responses, to confirm our analysis. The model confirms the link and explains the causes of their correlation. Both the KMO value and the Barter test value should be close to 1 for the hypothesis to be accepted. The KMO value is quite high, is 0.875, and the value obtained by Barter test is 0.000. So it is significant. This indicates that there is a high degree of interdependence between the factors. The results of three variable eigenvalues explain 75.686% of the model for perceived longevity of the 12 variables that we had. So what we can see from explorative factor analysis is that we have 3 components, and the rotated component matrix table in explorative factor analysis shows that there are 5 factors variables load onto component 1 and 2, whereas 2 factor variables load onto component 3. In all factors, the estimated value is greater than 0.6, therefore an acceptable threshold limit. Therefore, 12 factors can be reduced to a manageable 3 factor. The Cromba Alpha, again, for the 3 component variables, show internal consistency among the variables. The reliability statistics results show a value of 0.9, which is quite high, 0.881, and 0.835 for the 3 component variables, respectively. In the next step in our analysis, we applied the confirmatory factor analysis to the next 891 responses. The model contained the 12 variables and indicated that all of them are significant. Here we confirmed whether the path coefficient between these variables and their corresponding factors is significant. For a newly developed item, the factor loading for every item should exceed 0.5. For established items, the factor loading for every item should be 0.6 or higher. For all factors, the path coefficients are greater than 0.5, confirming the factor structure generated by the application of EFA. The values of correlation between all the 3 factors is very weak. The values of for different model fit indices produced as a result of this analysis are shown below. Given the tiny variation in variances, the score of 1.635 here indicates that the model fits the data well. Overall, good model fit is indicated as and achieved. In order to further support the study, we extract data on reliability and validity of the extracted components and the variables that underlie them. The first column lists composite reliability, which is also a measure of reliability for internal consistency. The acceptable value of CR is 0.7, is confirmed for all 3 constructs. Moreover, to have convergent validity, the criteria is that the AVA is greater than 0.5. The second validity measure is discriminative validity. A constant must have AVA greater than MS, the mean shared variance, and AVA must be higher than the squared correlation of that construct with all the other constructs in order to have discriminative validity. The numbers in bold in the above table show the correlation coefficient that a construct has with all the other constructs. All three of the requirements for discriminative validity have been fulfilled. Follow the construct. Consequently, the parameters that were retrieved are trustworthy and reliable. Standardized estimates make it possible to compare how much each predictor variable contributed to each outcome variable. The fitted model standardized estimates are near to 1 for all of the 12 items. So, to examine the mediating role of perceived longevity risk and the well-being through environment and advanced structured equation model is constructed. It is found that in all factors and sub-factors, the estimated value is greater than 0.7, hence perceived longevity risk and well-being is also mediated through environment. The entire structural equation modeling model is accurate, reliable, and dependable, as we see. As a result, the null hypothesis is discarded and the alternative hypothesis is accepted for all. Longevity risk is expected to persist due to the unpredictability of future events. Economic actors should identify and handle perceived longevity, risk, and well-being just as they would other easily measured risks such as interest rate risk. In order to manage longevity risks on a worldwide basis, the existing tendency toward underestimating lifespan perception must be understood. Policymakers and governments should be aware of the significant perceived longevity risk they face before introducing defined benefits plans for employees or old age social security schemes. This ensures that budgets are distributed fairly among individuals, pensions, plan sponsors, and governments. Although it is perceived that a significant adjustment must be made by raising the retirement age to match life expectancy, it might be more acceptable if governments suggest that individuals put off retiring if they so want, and perception plays a big part in this. It is also critical to provide some flexibility in pension plans, since benefit reductions may be required when raising the retirement or contribution ages is just not seen as feasible. The moment has come to take action to more accurately identify and reduce the risks of living a long life. Delaying remedial action will make solving this issue more challenging in the long term because the solution will not have effect for several years. So, any questions? If you have questions, you can write to me on simon.grima@um.edu.nt. Hope I didn't bore you too much, and thank you for the invite again. Thank you to everybody for inviting me, and I wish you a good day and a good continuation of this conference. Thank you and have a nice day.
And now we move to the next keynote speech for today, Dr. Sana Fatima. I will inform the profile of Dr. Sana Fatima from Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Noida, India. At present, Dr. Sana is an assistant professor in Symbiosis International University, India. She did a PhD in economics from Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. Dr. Sana had published various research papers in journal of high reputed and received Best Research Paper Award in an international conference conducted by University of Taiwan. Dr. Sana also life member of various academic associations such as IEBPM, TIAS, IAI, and UA. Okay, Dr. Sana Fatima, is it you already joined with us in this Zoom? Okay, Dr. Sana, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Charles. A very pleasant morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Liam sir and AIBPM for giving me an opportunity and inviting me to present my views as a keynote speaker. So I'll be sharing my slides. Is it visible? Is my screen visible, Charles?
Yes, okay. It's okay. Your PPT is already appearing here. Okay,
Okay.
go on.
So distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and curious minds, are you ready? Delve into a topic that has become increasingly important in our rapidly evolving world, that is innovation and technological entrepreneurship after COVID-19 pandemic. So the COVID-19 pandemic has been an unprecedented global event, challenging our norms, testing our resilience, and reshaping the very fabric of our societies. However, as history has shown, from adversity emerges opportunity. So today we embark on a journey to explore how innovation and technological entrepreneurship can act as journey to explore how just a moment. Yes, as a beacons of hope and catalyst for transformation in the post-pandemic landscape. So first point which I would like to throw on, shed some light on, is acceleration of digital transformation. One of the undeniable outcomes of the pandemic has been the acceleration of the digital transformation across various sectors. The lockdown and social distancing measures forced businesses to adapt swiftly, giving rise to innovative solutions that leverage technology to ensure continuity. From remote work solutions to e-commerce platforms, the pandemic catalyzed a paradigm shift, creating a fertile ground for technological entrepreneurship. According to a McKinsey report, the adoption of digital technologies during the pandemic advanced by 7 years in a span of just a few months. Excuse me, sorry. This acceleration was seen across various sectors, from remote work solutions to the rise of e-commerce. Companies that embraced digital transformation thrived, while those resistant to change struggled to adapt. The second point which I would like to share is rise of technological entrepreneurship. In the wake of the adversity, a surge in technological entrepreneurship became evident in the pandemic. Not only altered the business landscape, but also prompted a re-evaluation of entrepreneurial mindsets. Entrepreneurs were compelled to think beyond traditional models and embrace a more agile and adaptive approach. This shift in thinking is crucial for fostering innovation, as it encourages a willingness to experiment, iterate, and pivot in response to changing circumstances. From contactless delivery solutions to health monitoring devices, entrepreneurs harnessed emerging technologies like AI, IoT, and the blockchain to develop novel products and services. In 2021, despite the economic challenges, the global venture capital investment reached a record high of $366 billion, signaling a strong vote of confidence in the resilience and potential of startups. Emerging technologies such as AI, Bitcoin, and clean energy attracted significant funding. The third point which I would like to share is collaboration and open innovation. So the challenges posed by pandemic underscored the importance of collaboration and open innovation. Whether through public-private partnerships, cross-country collaborations, or open innovation initiatives, the pandemic highlighted the power of collective intelligence. Understanding and harnessing the dynamics of collaboration will be essential in shaping the future of technological entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs join forces with established corporations, research institutions, and government agencies to create synergies that accelerated the pace of innovation. The World Economic Forum reported a surge in cross-country collaborations during the pandemic, with companies recognizing the need to pool resources and expertise. Notable examples include pharmaceutical companies collaborating on vaccine development and tech firms partnering with healthcare providers for innovative solutions. Then, I would like to take up this point, rethinking business models. So, the pandemic forced a re-evaluation of traditional business models. Entrepreneurs embraced resilience and adaptability, exploring new revenue streams and diversifying their offerings. Subscription-based models, digital marketplaces, and sustainability-oriented business strategies gained prominence as entrepreneurs sought to future-proof their ventures. A survey by PwC found that 32% of the CEOs globally accelerated their digital transformation initiatives due to the pandemic. This shift led to a re-evaluation of business models, with 61% of leaders prioritizing investments in digital and technological capabilities. Then the next point is ethical considerations in innovation. As we forge ahead, it is imperative to consider the ethical dimensions of innovation. The rapid adoption of technologies during the pandemic raised ethical concerns related to privacy, security, and social impact. Ethical considerations in AI, data privacy, and environmental sustainability are integral to building a future that benefits all of humanity. Examining these ethical considerations is essential for ensuring that innovation serves the greater good and is aligned with social values. With the increasing reliance on artificial intelligence, ethical concerns gained prominence. The European Commission's AI Act, proposed in April 2021, reflects a regulatory effort to ensure the ethical use of AI, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and human-centric approaches. Then I would like to shed some light on the role of education and skill development. The rapid evolution of technology demands a workforce equipped with the skills necessary to navigate this ever-changing landscape. Education and skill development initiatives must align with the needs of the innovation-driven economy. Lifelong learning and a commitment to staying abreast of technological advancements are essential for both entrepreneurs and employees. LinkedIn's 2021 Workplace Learning Report highlighted a 59% increase in the number of hours employees spent on learning. The report emphasized the growing importance of upskilling and reskilling, with technological related skills being among the most sought after by employers. Then, as a concluding remark, I would like to say that it is helpful in shaping a resilient future. In conclusion, the post-COVID-19 era has laid the groundwork for a future defined by innovation and technological entrepreneurship. The lessons learned during the pandemic underscored the need of the need for agility, collaboration, and ethical considerations in the pursuit of technological advancements. As we navigate this uncharted territory, let us embark on this journey with this shared commitment to shaping a resilient, inclusive, and technologically advanced future. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sana Fatima. Later, the Q&A session will be at the end of the presentation after all the keynote speaker deliver the presentation. Okay, we will be patient to wait. Okay, now we move to the next keynote speech. I will invite Dr. Padmalini Singh. Dr. Padmalini Singh has a global
Yes, sir.
outlook. Yes, I will inform your short profile. Dr. Padmalini Singh has a global outlook in teaching fostered by working in Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, with global ranking professor from the Wharton School, London Business School, Penn State, and Michigan University. He has published impactful research paper in the area of social science and marketing in esteemed journal Index and Scopus, WAS, and ABC, and also have books to her credit. He has organized many workshops, seminars, and national conferences funded by SEBI Multi-Commodity Exchange IPF, Indian Council for World Affairs, and India Council for Social Science Research, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, National Commission for Women, and Department of Science and Technology. She has 3 patents in her name in emerging area of digital marketing. She have completed funded project from DST, ICSSR, UBA in the field of social re-engineering. She has been recognized by Mahatma Gandhi National Council of Rural Education, Hyderabad for Beat COVID campaign. Dr. Singh is invited as a panelist and session chair from various national and international conferences on regular basis. Dr. Padmalini, are you already joined with us in this Zoom?
I'm sorry, Dr. Prince. For Dr. Padmalini is still trying to join the meeting now.
Oh, okay.
Now already joined. She is already joining. Thank you, Doctor.
We will wait.
Yes, please wait for a minute.
Our speaker came from abroad, so sometimes the internet connection will affect our connection in this conference. Hello, good morning, Dr. Padmalini.
Good morning. I'll just put up the wallpaper, the background. Just give me a moment.
Okay. Okay, all the participants, please be patient. We wait until the speaker, Dr. Padmalini, are ready to deliver her presentation. I just want to remind for all the participants in this Zoom, if you have a question already, maybe you can save in the end of the presentation after the speaker deliver the you can deliver your presentation by directly and by chat room. So it's depend if you want to deliver by chat or by directly in this Zoom. Okay, Dr. Padmalini is already done. Your Dr. Padma, are you ready? I think is it okay if your backdrop is not ready yet, but if you're ready for your presentation, please go on.
Yes, Professor, it's done.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Okay, the time is yours.
Yeah, I can start?
Yes, the time is yours.
Okay. So good morning from India to all the participants and esteemed guests over here. I welcome you for this conference. The theme is the innovation and technological entrepreneurship after COVID-19 pandemic. And as we stand at the intersection of the recovery towards the brighter future, which we are looking ahead, these are the twin engines of development. One is the innovation and another one is the entrepreneurial spirit, which we can see through which we were able to overcome the pandemic crisis. today we embark on the transformative exploration on how these forces can further reshape our world in the post-pandemic era. So, as we have seen that the COVID was a major disruptor, changing the norms and compelling rapid adaptation at all the industries which we have seen. Yet, from the chaos emerged from the unprecedented opportunities. Innovators and entrepreneurs became the beacon of hope which we have witnessed during the crisis. And they were able to provide the solutions that not only addressed immediate challenges, but also paved the way for a more resilient, interconnected, and sustainable future. So there are few things which drives our attention towards which we should be discussing in this context of innovation and technological entrepreneurship spirit, which we are talking about. And the first one is resilience and adaptability. We have seen that the pandemic underscored the need for resilience and adaptability, and entrepreneurs and innovators navigated uncertainty with creativity and resourcefulness. We also must embrace the lessons which we have learned during this period, acknowledging an adaptability in the cornerstone for success in the ever-evolving landscape. The second one which we witnessed was the digital transformation. The pandemic accelerated the digital transformation in all the industries which we have seen, which we have witnessed across the industries. The integration of technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things became the imperative for survival. Those who were able to adapt fast are at the brim of the success right now, post-pandemic. And those who were not able to do that, we have seen that they really failed and they had to shut down. So now we delve into how these innovations can be harnessed to drive sustainable growth and foster a more inclusive society, which we want to develop. The third one is where I want to drive attention is collaboration and open innovation. That is the key. The challenges posed by pandemic demonstrated the power of collaboration. So the one company or one industry which did not have the resource or capability, the other industry were able to provide that, because of which it was a win-win situation for both. So entrepreneurs forged partnership across sectors, fostering open innovation that transcend the traditional boundaries. And today we explore how collaborative ecosystem can be cultivated to amplify the impact of technological entrepreneurship. The fourth one, which is very important, is the impactful entrepreneurship. So beyond the profit margin, the post-pandemic era calls for a renewed focus on the impactful entrepreneurship, the innovation which we look for. So innovators must consider the social, environmental, ethical, ESG, which the whole world is talking about, these implications in their ventures. This entire discussion will center on how entrepreneurs can create value, not only for the shareholder, which was the focus earlier, but society as a large, because society at large is more valuable, and that should be at the center of any innovation. The next one is the inclusive innovation. So the pandemic highlighted existing inequalities. To build a more equitable future, innovation must be inclusive. It should reach to all. So we would delve into the strategies for ensuring that technological advancement benefit all the members of the society, leaving nobody behind. And the last, which is very important, all these things which I told you right now, it is not possible unless regulatory considerations are in place. So as innovation surges, regulatory framework must evolve to strike a balance between the fostering progress and ensuring the ethical standards also. So we must examine the role of government, regulatory bodies in supporting and guiding the responsible development of technology and innovation, which we are talking about, because technology has two sides, and we must look into the positive side of the technology. So our journey through this conference will compass guiding us towards a future shaped by innovation and technology, which we are talking about, and entrepreneurship. And as we navigate uncharted territories post COVID-19, so let us embrace these three pillars, which we will be discussing in this conference. So together we have to build a world which is moving ahead towards the innovation and foster entrepreneurship and the inclusive society which we are looking for. And it will be the catalyst for the positive change which we want to look for. So thank you for joining us and listening to me. And we are just waiting for that exciting exploration of the limitless possibility that lie beyond this. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Padma, for your interesting presentation. And maybe at the end of the presentation, all the speaker will have a Q&A session. So be patient to wait that question from the all participants. Okay, thank you so much once again, Dr. Padma.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, now we move to the next keynote speaker. I will say hello to Dr. Ainul Mohsein, Abdul Mohsin from University Sains, Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all.
Yes.
Firstly, I would like to thank everybody to be here. And my special thanks is to the ICPM, 2023 Bali, for giving me the opportunity. So before we start,
Okay,
I would
Dr.
like just to introduce
Ainul,
myself.
before you start, I will inform the profile of you. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Ainul Mohsin Abdul Mohsin is a senior lecturer in international business at the School of Management, University Sains Malaysia, USM. He was conferred at a PhD in strategic management, specializing in competitive intelligence from USM. She obtained her Bachelor of Business Administration degree from the University of Iowa, United States, with a double degree in finance and marketing. Her research interest is in competitive intelligence, human governance, strategic management, and international business. She has over 18 years of corporate experience in various industries. Her work experience varies from the financial sector, manufacturing sector, sales services sector, and consultancy. She has worked in Malaysia and abroad to assist in greenfield and brownfield projects. She has presented numerous papers at conferences and has also published several research articles in Index Journal and Proceedings. She is an entrepreneurial fellow and the license committee member of the Division of Industry and Community Network at USM, and was the secretary for Malaysia Facilitator Association from 2020 until 2022. Okay, Dr. Ainul, the time is yours.
All right. So can I start now?
Okay, the time is yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. As we know, for today, the theme for the conference is innovation and technological entrepreneurship after COVID-19 pandemic. Just to let you know, as explained just now, my interest is basically on innovative performance as well. And I'm also looking into cognitive intelligence and business intelligence. Nevertheless, yeah, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a different topic, but it's still got to do with the after effect of COVID-19 pandemic. I'm looking more towards the human governance, and I will explain why, yeah. So I don't know whether they're going to share my slides, but basically the topic that I'm going to bring in today is human governance in technology and the digital era. So before we start, I would like to ask you these questions, yeah? The first questions that I would like to ask is, does digitalization reduce corruption? So anyone like to answer? You can, or you can, I don't know whether we have a chat box here. What's your take on that? And my second question is that, can technology and digitalization eliminate corruption? And my third question for you guys, why eliminating corrupt behavior is crucial, and why does corruption prevail even in today's world with all this modernization that in digitalization happen? So since nobody answered me, it's okay, I will answer myself. First of all, the first question is, digitalization can have both positive and negative impacts here to the fight of corruption. Why I am actually looking into corruption is because from our studies here in the past, we do a lot of systems, we do a lot of processes here with involved in IT and whatnot. But yet, yeah, I'm talking about my own country, the corruption is still there. It prevails, yeah. So digitalization can have both positive and negative here. In one end is that it helps, but on the other hand, it also introduces new challenges and risks, yeah, when you have more people using technology, yeah, to scam others. Right. For the second questions, yeah, highly unlikely technology alone can eliminate corruptions, yeah. At the end of the day, we still have a multifaceted approach here. We have to look into the legal, the institution, transparency measure, public awareness, which got to do with leadership as well. The third question that I asked you just now was, why is it that it's very important to look at corruption? Because at the end of the day, it's highly damaging to the economy of a country and also to the social life of the citizen. Okay. And the last question that I asked was that, why is it so difficult? Because at the end of the day, it is still a human issue. So even Steve Jobs, yeah, who is inventor and a pioneer, yeah, in technology, he says this: technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people, that they are basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they will do wonderful things with them. All right. So why that I'm looking to corruption, as I mentioned, the systems that we have, we try to do the best, yet, yeah, as human beings, people can just go around the process and do a lot of things with it. So, and corruption is actually a phenomenal, global phenomenon. Even in 2016, yeah, the OECD report stated that procurement, yeah, in the government is one of the most prone to corruption. So our studies actually look into the government procurement and why do people actually do a lot of corrupt behavior. Okay, I'm going to be very fast because the time is limited. Now, even a study by Wahyuni et al. In 2021 actually agrees that mismanaged governance, yeah, and accountability has been associated with the attributes of public services. Okay. Interestingly, in Malaysia, we have the Malaysian NACP report in 2019. Yeah, NACP report stands for National Anti-Corruption. It says that it collected data from 2013 to 2018 and found that the two top modes of conduct of corruption are administrative failure due to manipulation of systems and procedures, and conflict of interest due to discretionary power absolute power and political interference. So if you add up on this, yeah, almost 69%, yeah, got to do with the system and also the power that people has. All right. 2006, yeah, said that, yeah, it opined that reliable protection against rent-seeking and corruption is for Malaysia to have strategies for transparency to allow for competition. So when we talk about transparency, is still back into the aspect of human, okay? And another study by Wong, 2019, yeah, it says here, private information leakage among employees suggested that human governance, yeah, this is the concept that I'm trying to explain later, can become the mechanism to hinder corrupt behavior from occurring because human can manipulate the systems and procedure. Nevertheless, yeah, it doesn't explain how does human governance play the role in trying to eliminate or reduce corruption. So the novelty of our research is basically, we focus on the human aspect, and based on the model of human comprising both the physical and the non-physical dimension of a human being. All right. So in our research here, what we did is we are actually looking into the extent of human governance practice by the Malaysian government procurement practitioner. And also the second question is that what are the character based on three components of human inner powers, namely intellect, appetition, and self-assertion that drive the behavior of corruption or integrity. All right. When we do our study, we actually look into various concept of human from the Egyptian, from the from the Egyptian, from the Japanese perception, even from the Western perception and whatnot. And we feel that at the end of the day, we choose the virtue theory by Aristotle when they talk about human. But on top of that, we also infuse human governance concept. Nevertheless, yeah, when it comes to the taxonomy of what is the good behavior, bad behavior, we actually look into a lot of Eastern philosophy and also scholars. And at the end of the day, we embrace, yeah, the theory of the soul by Al-Ghazali. Okay, now, nevertheless, yeah, Bright 2014 explained that virtue is actually an innate quality that shapes human behavior. This theory states that the value are not completed related to habits, but will have the characteristic of a person once they are acquired. And according to the Saleh and Ahmad, they view human is actually as the existence of non-material soul residing in the biological body for locomotion. What it meant is that we, as human being, is not only the anatomy, but also it comprises of the inner part that we cannot see, which is the soul. Okay. I don't know whether you can see my slides, yeah, but I already passed my slides to the secretariat. If you look into the virtue theory, they put two axes, yeah. One is the behavior and one the character. And in the middle, yeah, is basically the virtue character. But if to the left and right, is basically if you have deficit or excessive. As mentioned just now, it doesn't show the taxonomy of the character, and that's the reason why we actually adapt, yeah, the theory of the soul from Al-Ghazali, because in Al-Ghazali they have actually put in what are excessive, yeah, characters or behavior, and what is virtue and the rest. Right. So how do we do our research here? It's basically in qualitative approach here, and we use the phenomenology approach here. And when we do this research, our challenge is actually to find ex-government procurement practitioner that has been convicted of corruption. And these people, are they willing to actually share their experience with us? So that would be our first hurdle. Nevertheless, yeah, we managed to find 2 people. And then in terms of the people that we interview, not only the one that has been committed into doing wrongdoing, but we also look into the MACC officers, that is basically the anti-corruption officers, yeah. And we also interview the current government practitioners as well. And we also interview the suppliers that deal with the government practitioner. So what we find basically, and we have to remember that this research is not basically focused on the nature of corruption, but rather on the spirituality aspect of the government procurement. And I mentioned just now in the beginning, yeah, why we are looking into the human aspect now is because we have done a lot of system, we have done a lot of process, yeah, we have done a lot of digitalization, yet corruption happens. So the issue at the end of the day is not system, it's not the process, the issue is human. So how do we actually define what is being human? Yeah. So that's the reason why we are looking back into the component of human being. It has 2 parts, and we are looking into the non-existent, the non-seen, basically the soul. And when we actually look into the interviews, it's very interesting, yeah, that we find why do they actually involved in corruption. But before that, let me remind you, yeah, in terms of the research methodology, we have go into the due process of horizontalizing horizon, teams, texture, structural description, and composites group of texture, structural description. And also the sampling is basically on the purposive sampling. The findings that we find, yeah, majority of the interviewees, we have around 13 people that we interview. They find that spirituality, they agree, the spirituality is the inner side of the human. It's not visible, yeah, unlike the physical body. However, it's very interesting to find that the convicted ex-government officer view on spirituality. The first officer that was actually convicted of corruption, yeah, he is actually oblivious to the existence of spirituality. On the other hand, the other person that also being convicted of corruption, he is actually conscious of spiritual existence, but the desire of material wealth overwhelmed his conscience. So in the concept of human governance, yeah, it says that the conscience is very important for us to control ourselves, to govern ourselves for doing something that is wrong, because we actually compare a lot of the Eastern and Western studies as well. As a human being, yeah, we are all the time vacillate, yeah, between doing good and bad. So how do we control it? Is our conscience, yeah. And the person that actually oblivious to the existence of spirituality, he is actually more driven towards how to manipulate people and how to govern the other person rather than himself. So when we look back into the taxonomy of Al-Ghazali, he actually falls under the excessive part of the behavior. Okay. Actually, I would like to share the, I don't know, can you see the screen? Because if you can see the screen, we have the findings here that shows that when we interview people, a lot of us actually look into the secondary character as what is good behavior. So the secondary character is basically if you, it can be in craftiness, in decisiveness, yeah, hypocrisy, yeah, self-love, yeah, that is for the negative part. But the tertiary character, yeah, which is only 50% see that as the real bad behavior. Yeah, the tertiary character would be normally things like self-love, yeah, boasting, it's not really see as a wrong behavior. Okay. Now, and also the finding on what is termed as good behavior, still the same. Basically, secondary character comes aboard, and secondary character would be things like um, uh, 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 sorry, stewardship would be like a patient, yeah, would be things like endurance, yeah, firmness, yeah, whereas only 50% see the tertiary character such as modesty, contentment, bravery, self-respect, and even dignity, yeah, as a good behavior. So the discussion that we have here, basically, the actualization of HG only will happen when a person's inner self is ruled by the body of virtual character. So in our study, in terms of the procurement officers in Malaysia, we find that it has not been actually manifest to all yet. Yeah, so what it also suggests is that, yeah, once a person have the awareness of spirituality to trigger human governance, that is when a person, yeah, give way not to do corrupt behavior. Yeah, so these are the things that in Malaysia, even though we are doing a lot of infrastructure, we're looking into the systemization, business intelligence and whatnot, at the end of the day, it's still a human problem. So how do we need to inculcate good behavior? Okay. Even in our NACP report, yeah, we stated that we have to actualize the human governance, but it is still in process. So what I can say in the conclusion for this, yeah, the findings suggest that corruption is an opportunistic behavior through self-interest seeking. Yeah, it will also continue to inflate the cost of transaction in Malaysian government procurement, business to government, market transaction, unless human governance is actualized. Without having the consciousness of one's spirituality to trigger the human governance internal mechanism, a person may give way to the temptation to be corrupted. So this is just the first phase of our study. And the next phase of our study is actually on how to actualize human governance. And then later only we will come up on the module of the human governance and how would it, how does we can drive together in terms of the digitalization, yeah, and the concept of human governance to make Malaysia eliminate corruption. All right, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ainul, for your extraordinary presentation. And okay, ladies and gentlemen, all participants. And now we arrive in the question and answer session. And as I said before, all the participants can be asked at the end of after all speaker have delivered the presentation. The question can be submitted by via chat room or also directly in this room Zoom by stating the name and origin of your presentation. Okay, is there any question from participant? Please raise your hand.
There's one question in the Q&A which I can answer.
Okay, while we waiting, I have a question from chat room to Dr. Sana from Ananta Hagabeat. Okay, the question is, based on your research, how much the entrepreneur, especially for small medium enterprise in India, adopt the technology in developing their business? Dr. Sana, maybe you can directly answer this question.
Yeah, I think I can take up this question because they have asked specifically for India.
Okay, Dr. Pama. Okay,
Yes.
please.
So thank you for asking this question. As far as the reports are concerned, CRISIL report says that 43% of micro enterprises and 53% of SMEs in India, they have adopted this digital transformation, especially for the payment system. Apart from this, the other reports and the research, which even I have done, recently I have done, and that was for a very the new startups, SMEs with their entrepreneurs. It reports that around 70% of the entrepreneurs, they are actually using this digital transformation in different capabilities, different aspect. One is the digital transformation itself, where the entrepreneurs are investing because they know that it is inevitable. And government initiatives are also there in India, which helps the SMEs and even the micro entrepreneurs to adapt or adopt this digital transformation. So many initiatives have been taken by the Indian government. For example, GEM is one e-portal which has been created by the Indian government, where these SMEs and micro enterprises, they can list out over there, and they can directly sell their products over there. So just to help these entrepreneurs who doesn't have the financial worth to develop the infrastructure, digital infrastructure. Apart from that, UP government, Uttar Pradesh government, they have also made this initiative where they have developed the e-portal system, and they are helping the budding entrepreneurs to sell their products, and even the micro entrepreneurs. A the fintech adoption, which you can see or which everybody knows that in India it has penetrated to the bottom of the pyramid. Basically, the street vendors also, they have adapted this and deeply in the deep pockets. These adaptation and digital transformation has happened. So well, in India, to answer very briefly about your question, 70% of the entrepreneurs have adopted, and government is taking this very seriously, and they are coming up with the new initiatives to help the entrepreneurs to adapt digitally. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, I think it's clearly because from the Dr. Padmalini explained that over than 70% has already adopted the technology. Okay, we move to the next question from chat room. There is a question about the corruption and technology. It's quite interesting. So how the government try to minimize the corruption, especially when learning from the case study from each of the speaker country? Thank you. I don't know from the who is, but I think the question is for all the speaker. So is there any Dr. Ainul first, maybe from Malaysia, from that question, your opinion about this?
Okay, when we talk about corruption, at the end of the day, the government has to play a role. So since 2019, the government has started putting in the human governance concept in the NACP, the National Anti-Corruption Plan, for 5 years, and it has actually developed for every criteria, basically for the government officers. But the most important thing also, they are trying to teach this to the tertiary education and also to our schools. That's the reason why our next step is actually to look into the schools and understand what is the school are doing when it comes into building the character of our nation. But I have to say this, it's not an easy process. It is a very long process, and there's a lot of challenges as well. But also the first step that we need to also do is to look back into what is our worldview of being human. So this is the first question that we need to answer. What is it that is that we understand in terms of being human? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ainul. There's the answer from a side of Malaysia. Of course. I'll wait for Dr. Sana from India. Dr. Sana, are you there?
Can I answer this question?
Okay, okay, Dr. Padmalini, please welcome. Is
Yeah.
the question for you too? Okay,
Yeah.
please.
So here in India, there are a lot of e-government services which has been initiated, which has been launched and been practiced in all the government institutions. So just to give you the context, how this minimizes this technology or this initiative of e-government services, how it has minimized the corruption is that these services are, functional in all the government offices. Earlier, what used to happen was that in the, a tax filing or some application, or buying or selling the land, all these offices, they used to they used to have they used to have this system where you have to give money to all the officials to move the file from one desk to another, and then finally it gets approved and your work is done. But now, because of this e-government services, everything is online. So the direct intervention of the officers is not there. Nothing is in their control. So at any place in India or in world, wherever you are sitting, you just have to upload your documents over there, and it has to move from one desk to another. So you don't have to even pay a penny over there. So corruption in government offices have come down because of the technological intervention. Digital payments again in India is used everywhere, and that has also reduced the corruption in a huge way, because now all the government offices, they take the digital payments, no cash transactions are there. So you don't need to pay anything to the government officials to get the work done. And a lot of other practices are also there in place in the government offices and even in the private organization to minimize these corruptions at different levels, which we as a citizen we had to bear. But now, because of this intervention, technological intervention, it has reduced to a great extent. And even the biometric identification which is there, it has reduced a lot of corruption, in a sense that for example, the government have a lot of government schools, and these schools are in the villages, in the outskirts, and nobody had the government doesn't have this a time to just inspect each and every village and each and every district to see that whether the school is functioning well, if all the attendances are there, all the teachers are coming regularly and things like that. But now every schools, they have this biometric system. So when they have the biometric system, the teachers are liable, they are bound to come every day, they are bound to punch every day. So in with this initiative, the government ensures that the teacher is there to teach from 9 to 5 or whatever the time period is there. They are present in the school, they are doing their duty, and the school is functioning in the right direction. So these are certain this initiatives done by Indian government to make sure that the corruption is minimized here in India.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Padmalini. And now we have a question from the participant. We move to Mr. Suhartoko. Okay, please, show your video.
Thank you, Dr. Charles.
Okay.
Please. I want to ask to Dr. Ainul.
Okay, please.
As a system and technology are very good to spot all about the organization does and give more transparency information, and we can tracing about the procedure. I think technology can decrease corruption. And then corruption does not being human problem. This is my ask, and I want answer from Dr. Ainul. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Son. Do you get the
Can
question?
you repeat the question? Yeah, can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Shortly, Mr. Suhartoko.
Okay. You said that corruption just is a being human problem. Okay. But its system and technology are very good to spot all about the organization does and give more configuration information, and we can tracing about the procedure. I think the technology can decrease corruption. Thank you.
All right. So as I said in the beginning, yeah, technology, it has its positive and negative also. So technology, it is actually being done by people. Yeah. If you have the right motive to do it, yeah, definitely technology will help, but it can also be vice versa. Even nowadays, if you see in the world, people are also using technology to scam others. Yeah, the issue with what we are looking at is we have done a lot in terms of setting up technology, putting in the best system and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it also depends on who are looking into the data. If you have all the data, yeah, and you are quote unquote a good person, you would not release the
Kayak
data.
kemarin saya udah bikin. Saya jam 1 udah ngobrol.
Yeah. So that's the thing. In terms of our transparency index, yeah, Malaysia is still low, even though we are putting a lot on infrastructure. So at the end of the day, yeah, when we talk about people, corruption is still a people issue. So now we are also focusing back on looking at how or what is it meaning to in terms of being human. So this is what we are looking on both ways. Technology, we do not deny. It is actually does help, but it also can also be two end. You can see it can be good, it can also be bad. But we, at the end of the day, we are trying to rebuild our nation in terms of our people. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Suhartoko is already clear.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Is there any question, another question in this room from participant? Please raise your hand. I think quite interesting about, if we're talking about technology or about corruption, it's very near to our country because as a developing countries, this problem must probably appear in the daily life. Is there any question? Okay, is there no question? I want to ask to Dr. Padmalini. Maybe Dr. Padma.
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, Dr. Padma, as we discussed just now that about technology, about corruption, about how to decrease the corruption and have better in how to manage the nation or the country. I want to ask you, in India, mostly the country in Southeast Asia, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, is there they apply technology have a big effect to the decrease the corruption or for the innovation of the country? Can you give your opinion about this? The effect, is it more effective for innovation or to decrease the corruption, according to your experience in India? Can you give opinion about this?
Yeah, so if I have understood your question correctly, you are asking whether this technological intervention has reduced the corruption or it is operational, functional.
Okay, yes.
That is what you're asking?
Yes, more effectively, the technology in India or most the country in Southeast Asia, they use the technology effective for decrease the corruption or for innovation, such as to make a good in economic growth or to develop some kind of small medium enterprise.
Okay. So it's actually both. Technological intervention has definitely reduced the corruption, especially for the government organizations. But for the economic growth also, when corruption will be there, obviously the economic growth will not, the country will not prosper. So it has worked in both the ways for economic growth as well, because the adoption of this digital transformation has happened very fast in India, and especially after post-pandemic. We have seen a huge growth in across industry. So it has helped India
Dr. Padma, you already mute your voice.
I'm so sorry. So I'm saying that this technological intervention has helped India in both the ways. One, to reduce the corruptions, reducing the corruption mostly in the government offices, because it was very difficult for the government to track the corruption which was happening in the government offices. And second, because when you reduce the corruption, obviously you ensure the economic growth also, the country will prosper. So it has also helped the economic growth for India, because the adaptation of this digital transformation or the adoption of digital medium is very fast in India, and it has led to this economic growth as well in India. So digital transformation is one pillar because of which India as a country has seen the economic growth very fast. Because here even the street vendors, if you see, they are digitally literate. They know, they are aware, and they are using it to the core. So it has helped India both the ways, actually.
Okay, that's about India. Do you have opinion about another country in Southeast Asia, like your neighborhood, like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh?
Yes, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh also, they are using it, but not to the extent of India actually as a country. So India, we can see like 70%, whereas in Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, you can see around 50%, 40 to 50% growth right now.
Oh, okay. It must be India more better than other countries in Southeast Asia, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How about in Malaysia, Dr. Ainul? The same question. We need your opinion about this.
Yeah, as I said, it helps. I would say that the technology helps, a lot of people to make things easier. Yeah, we also have e-filing in Malaysia. It makes it much more easier for people to do the e-filing. Whether it actually reduced, if you look into our transparency index, we are not top 25. But my question would be on the top 25, a lot of people will say developed countries will be there. But surprisingly, top 25, one of the countries is Bhutan. So the question is, what did Bhutan did right? Perhaps we also need to look back into the measurement of the transparency index. I would love to have someone from Bhutan to do research with me. Maybe they did something right in terms of, I don't know, but it is interesting to know what they did. To be on the top of 25 in terms of transparency index. Thank you.
Okay, it must be we have a homework about know about more Bhutan, I think. Okay, is there any question from this room, this chat room? or want to ask directly to our speaker? While we still waiting connects with Dr. Sana, because Dr. Sana already have a trouble in connection maybe. Is this any question from all participants? We have enough time for discuss about innovation and technology, something about like that.
Dr. Charles.
Okay.
Can I make one announcement?
Okay, please.
I would love to have people from other countries who are interested to do research on corruption, to do collaboration with me. I welcome anyone. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe before another, I register first. Okay. There is a question from chat room. Okay, the question is, we know that currently massive technological and transformation is taking place, which opens up opportunities and challenges for the business world. From an entrepreneurial perspective, what should we prepare to face the challenges that arise in this regard? And also, I would like to know about the condition and challenges faced in each country from the speaker. I think this question is for all the speaker. We start from maybe Dr. Padmalini. Okay, please. Okay, Dr. Padma. You can.
Yeah. So the question is about the entrepreneurial perspective, how the entrepreneur should be prepared, and what are the challenges in the country. Okay, so in India, the major challenge was this multiple windows of clearance for the entrepreneurs to set up their business, which to a large extent, Indian government have reduced it to one window policy. So you don't need to get the multiple clearance to start up your business. So that is one major challenge. The second challenge is the entry barriers. So innovation play a very important role. So unless you have a very, very innovative idea to go ahead with, you cannot sustain and market for a long time. So the major challenge even today, which is there for the entrepreneurs or the entrepreneurial businesses, is to sustain that innovation, because this reverse engineering is so easy that within 6 months your innovation becomes something which is disrupted by the competitors. So to create that entry barriers for you to sustain and market and to have the first mover advantage for a long time is one of the major challenge. The second challenge which we are still facing over here in India is and there are a lot of research which has been done even for the startups, the entrepreneurs which we are talking about, the equality, the gender equality I'm talking about. So we have seen, and recently I did a study where I studied all the the recent very very successful entrepreneurial businesses, and what I found was that at the C-suite, that is the board level, the number of females are very less, and especially for the key positions, all are men. So there is gender inequality in entrepreneurial business. So government is trying to bring a lot of initiatives where they can actually help the women entrepreneurs. So for women entrepreneurs, the challenge in India, or maybe across other countries as well, is to scale up the business. So to one point, you can gain the success because of the innovation which you bought in the market, but to scale up is a major challenge. So that are two things in India which the entrepreneurs are facing.
Okay, there is from India about the technological transformation connection with entrepreneurial perspective. How about Dr. Ainul from the Malaysia? There is question about
right. So we're talking about entrepreneurship, yeah. Okay, for the SME, in Malaysia, we have micro, we have small and also medium. I think the most challenges that we face are quite similar, but there is one challenge that we need our entrepreneur to look at. Is basically after the pandemic, is things are more ambiguous, are more uncertain. They have to also be able to do a lot of foresighting. They need to have that skill of to be able to do strategic foresighting, which is still lacking. A lot of our entrepreneurs are still same old, meaning that um, they hope things hadn't changed, yeah, because they have other issues to look at. So one of the things that the government is actually doing is also to give the skill for our entrepreneurs to understand what is strategic foresight and also to understand future studies so that they can see different scenarios, yeah, what will happen in the next 10 years, for example. In the next 10 years, definitely in Malaysia, we are actually facing aging population. So what is our SME are doing about it, yeah? How do we actually make sure that there is continuity in terms of manpower and whatnot? Thank you.
Okay, there's quite interesting about Malaysia. Is there in India the development of small medium enterprise quite similar from in Malaysia, Dr. Padma?
Yes, it is quite similar. SMEs face these challenges, especially the digital transformation, as I said, but now to a larger extent, they have been able to, adopt to the digital technology. But yes, to a large extent, this labor problem is there in India also. It's quite similar to Malaysia, actually.
Okay, so I can conclude that most the country in Asia most similar. Okay, is there any another question from participant? I think the topic what we're talking about is very interesting about technological, about innovation, about corruption, about developing after COVID pandemic. Very, very interesting for us. Is there any question? Okay, we have another question in chat room about the rate of which we see technological impulse. Particularly, my question is how this rapid rate of advancement can be paired with appropriate adoption in the current system. Are there some system that might not be suitable to be changes in way that can match the rapid rate and may require some time to fully adopt? If so, I would like to know the speaker views on how we can ensure new technologies can be appropriately adopted in rate that match their rate of advancement. There, you understand what they're asking about in chat room, Dr. Padma?
Yeah, I'm just going through the question. Yeah, see, any technological change to happen requires this change management. And it takes a lot of time for any innovation to, spend time on training and development. So to have this rapid adoption, or to have this digital transformation at a rapid rate, one requires to invest a lot in training and development. First is awareness that such technology exists. And the second is the training and development, right? The education, basically, that how it can be adopted. For example, I'll tell you how this digital, especially the payment system in India, have rooted down to the lowest level at bottom of the pyramid. It happened, how it happened actually, because Indian government with the private organizations, with the private companies, they invested a lot of time and they gave a lot of time in educating people and then giving training to the people at the bottom, that how exactly they have to use the technology, right? Because technology comes with their own its own pros and cons, its own challenges. So to bring this transformation and to bring this rapid transformation, or this rapid rate of technological changes what we are talking about in coming future, the one system which cannot be just changed just like that is giving the training to the people at how to use it. And the second thing is that there are certain systems which we can't change even if we bring technology. There are certain systems, that means the human intervention which is required, which cannot be replaced by technology. And that is that where the human touch comes. That means the human, the way we process the thing, the way we understand the data or the information, and then respond to that. So for any innovation or any technology, if we bring in any technology, the two things which cannot be one thing which cannot be replaced is the human touch or the human intervention. And to accelerate the rate of adoption which we are talking about, it would require a lot of investment and lot of time for awareness, education, and training. I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Maybe the last is for Dr. Ainul about the rapid transformation adopted about technologies. Okay.
Right. Thank you. What Dr. Padmalini said just now is very true. Yeah. It has to be a very strong linkages, yeah, network between the industry and also the government and also the organization. Just to share, it's true, training and whatnot is very, very important, but how do we actually elevate and minimize the time frame? So what we just launched we just launched this week. Yeah, on Thursday, I'm not mistaken. What happened is that between the Ministry of Higher Education of Malaysia and also consortiums of the manufacturing in Malaysia, especially in the E&E industry, electronic and electrical industry, I think around 29 companies and also a few universities in Malaysia, we have actually launched a new program. It's more like 2 or 3 years in the university, but for your final year, you have to be in the industry. So basically, you learn the technology from the industry before you actually graduated. Yeah, it is a bit different from the internship. It's basically you go there, you learn what the industry are doing, and basically if for your final paper, for your project paper, you have to do it together with industry. So we just launched it this week, Thursday, just to make sure that the rapidness can be caught up a bit faster. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ainul, Dr. Papa. And for the last time I asked, is there still any question from this room from participant before we ended our session? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all the speaker, as we navigate the post-COVID landscape, technological innovation and entrepreneurship stand as beacons of resilience and transformation. The pandemic has underscored the power of innovation to adapt, evolve, and drive change. Now, more than ever, our collective commitment to harnessing technology for positive disruption and entrepreneurial endeavors will shape a future that's not just recover but reimagine. Let's continue to campaign innovation, foster entrepreneurship, and build a world where creativity, adaptability, and progress flourish hand in hand. And that concludes the discussion that our keynote speaker with their outstanding presentation. And now, as a moderator, I would like to thank all the speakers for their extraordinary presentation. Dr. Simon, Dr. Sana, Dr. Fatma, and Dr. Ainul, and the committee and aibpm. Thank you very much again for all keynote speaker for sharing those insights with us today. Hopefully, their knowledge can be inspiration for all of in here. And now, for the next session, I'll return to our Master of Ceremony, Ms. Aulia Herdiani, to explain the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles, for
Thank
such
you.
insightful discussion. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that we've been having great days since the seminar and discussions were definitely resourceful and well constructed. In a moment, we'll run on the next agenda of the parallel sessions 1 hour ahead of the schedule at 12 p.m. Jakarta time. Before we move to the presentation sessions, please make sure to rename your Zoom according to your role. For presenters, please add letter R followed by your room's number and then your full name, while for section chairs, add SC in the beginning and then followed by R with your room's number and then your full name. All presenters can enter the Zoom room by on the presentation schedule. You can join the room by clicking the join button and then you will be automatically joining the presentation room. After the presentations has been accomplished, all presenters are urged to come back to the main room for the closing remark. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that we've been having a great day since the seminar and discussions were definitely resourceful and well constructed, and so was the parallel sessions. Now is the most awaited moment. This is the time to announce the best presenters of the 2023 Bali ICPM. I'll start from the third place of the best presenters. This is given to Dahlia Darmayanti from BINUS with the paper. The influence factors to purchase goods in the convenience stores, case of Alfamart and Indomart in Jakarta. Congratulations to Ms. Dahlia. Next, the runner-up of the best presenters goes to Devina Jaslyn Prasetyo, Valerie Angelica Go from Universitas Kristen Petra, with the paper's title, The Effect of Financial Distress and Transfer Pricing on Tax Avoidance in Multinational Companies Listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange, IDX, for the 2020 to 2022 period. Congratulations to Ms. Devina and also Ms. Valerie. And finally, we proudly announce the best presenter of the 2023 Bali ICPM is Sari Atmini from Universitas Brawijaya Malang, with the paper title, Plagiarism in Accounting and Business Postgraduate Students, Fraud Hexagon Theory Perspective with Understanding of Artificial Intelligence as a Moderating Variable. Congratulations to Ms. Sari. For all the winners will be given certificate of appreciations. Once again, congratulations to all the best presenters. Hopefully, we all can be motivated by this achievement. We finally come to the end of the 2023 Bali ICPM. It is such a joyful moment to engage in this kind of event, interact with various people with different point of view but the same excitement. Hopefully you get all necessary fruitful and engaging breakthrough knowledge on the innovations and technological entrepreneurship post-COVID-19 pandemic. Don't forget to post the photo and testimonial on your Instagram and social media and give hashtag 2023 ICPM and hashtag info for academia. The best post will win a free ticket to our next conference. On behalf of AIBPM and all co-hosts, we'd like to say thank you to all keynote speakers, moderator, participants, and especially to committees of today's program. Our apology for any inconvenience and lag during the program. Hope to engage with you soon again in the next agenda. Stay productive and enjoy the rest of the program. I am Aulia Herdiani. See you and goodbye.